Hey guys, what's going on? It's Goma Victor Hind here. Welcome back to yet another edition of Football Center with Goma. So it is Tuesday, and every Tuesday I bring you the football update. What stories are making the back pages in the football sector? And to be honest, there's a lot going on at this point in time. Not only in football, but the world in general, which affects football as well. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, and I don't want to waste a lot of time, so let's get straight into today's video. First up, the race for Champions League football is on in the Bundesliga. Now, with 5 games left in the German top flight football league, there is still no certainty as to who will be making up the last 3 spots in the top 4 for next season's European Champions League football. Now, Bayern Munich may as well start title celebration preparations, but for the 4 teams behind them, the tension intensifies. Now, RB Leipzig overcame a stubborn Cologne side on Monday night, defeating them by 4 goals to 2, and that took them to only 2 points behind second-placed Borussia Dortmund and 2 points above Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen. Now, to be honest, the way these 4 teams have been playing this season, they all deserve to be in the UEFA Champions League and would love to see them on a Tuesday night and Wednesday night. However, only 3 positions are left because Bayern Munich have already taken up 1, and sadly 1 team from the rest of the 4 will have to settle for the Europa League. Now, Borussia Dortmund looked sharp over the weekend by putting 6 goals past Paderborn, and with top players such as Jadon Sancho hitting form, what's next is that Borussia Dortmund have to find some sort of consistency if they want to seal second place and be playing European football in the Champions League next season. For RB Leipzig, they have been getting the job done, but just getting the job done. Over the last couple of games, we've seen defensive issues manifest themselves and they fail to keep the goals out. And if they want to stay in the top 4 and if they want to be vying for club's elite trophy next season, they will have to sort out their defensive issues fast, or else it could spell huge consequences. Now, just as Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach have to find some sort of consistency. Now, these 2 clubs have the attributes to be elite clubs in the German Bundesliga. However, they need to show that week in, week out. Every time they go out on the pitch against the smaller sides, they have to assert their authority and superiority. They have to show them that we're not just another Bundesliga side, we're a big Bundesliga side. Right? They need to go out week in, week out and show just how good they are and have that mentality, and eventually that will grow on them. Just as we have the Spurs, Chelsea, Wolves United in the Premier League, and perhaps have the Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, Valencia in La Liga, Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach have the potential to have that sort of caliber. They just need to get that mentality, go out on the pitch and show the opposition who they really are, because they have the talent and they have the qualities within their squads. They need to do that, and once that grows on them, perhaps rather than just competing for Champions League football and European football, then they could actually be vying for bigger things. But for now, they need to find a consistency which will get them into the top 4. To be honest, I'm rooting for Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach. I know it is kind of a long shot, but I'd love to see something unprecedented happen in the Bundesliga. I'm optimistic as a football fan. I want something that is going to cause and stir up drama. So I'm rooting for Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach, but that won't mean nothing if they don't find consistency in these last few games. So with that, 5 games left, the Champions League race is on. Who will make? Up next, Lionel Messi's special contract clause with FC Barcelona expires. Now, for those Lionel Messi and FC Barcelona fans who were scared that the Argentine may leave the Camp Nou for free this summer, rest assured now that that will not be happening. Now, a couple months ago, one news outlet revealed a special clause in Lionel Messi's contract with FC Barcelona that he signed back in 2017, that at the end of each season he has the option to leave the club for free. Now, Lionel Messi signed a new contract in 2017 and it is due to end in the 2020-21 season. And within that contract, there was a clause that he was allowed to leave FC Barcelona for free. Now, after the events that happened earlier on in the year with Eric Abidal and Lionel Messi, and of the rumors going on that there was a rift and Lionel Messi was uncomfortable with certain decisions being made, there were rumors that he may actually decide to part ways with his boyhood club, FC Barcelona, the club where he grew up from and a club where he has established his greatness. However, that clause expired on May the 30th, which means he will be an FC Barcelona player for yet another year. Now, from what we hear, the Barcelona president is planning to offer Lionel Messi a lifetime contract with FC Barcelona, just as Andres Iniesta. For those of you who don't know, Andres Iniesta signed a lifetime contract with the Blaugrana. And now the FC Barcelona president is planning to follow the same protocols with Lionel Messi. And to be honest, Lionel Messi has a lot to be thankful for to FC Barcelona. They believed in him when no one else believed in him, and they helped him. For those of you, perhaps you know the story of Lionel Messi being diagnosed with a problem of being too short. They helped him with that health problem, and they believed in him. They had his back, and now the whole world knows who Lionel Messi is, and the whole world will know who he is for years and years to come. So we'll just have to wait and see whether he does sign that contract or not, because Messi, at the beginning of the year as well, said that he would love to return to Rosario in Argentina, but said that yes, he grew up in Spain and has a lot to be thankful for to FC Barcelona, but to return home still remains part of his plans. He would love to go back to his boyhood club, New Boys, but we'll just have to wait and see. For now, Lionel Messi will be wearing the Catalonia club's club colors and will be vying for the UEFA Champions League and La Liga once the season does resume. Plus, he will be an FC Barcelona player next season as well. And finally, footballers join in on the call for justice for George Floyd. The whole world has been brought to the attention of the events unfolding in the USA. Last week, a video surfaced of a black man who was killed by a white police officer in the state of Minneapolis after he was pinned to the ground with a knee to his neck for a period of 8 minutes. In the video, the man could be heard telling the police officer and the bystanders that he could not breathe. However, the cop ignored the man's plea. After a while, blood could be seen running from his nose and his body became motionless. On suspicion that he could be dead, an ambulance was called to the site, and upon arrival, he was declared deceased. Now, in the aftermath of this incident, the black community in the state of Minneapolis rose up demanding justice for a man who was later identified as George Floyd. Over the past couple of days, the video went viral. And not only the black community in Minneapolis, but the black community all over the world and those against the actions of the police officers in that video spoke up demanding justice for George Floyd and demanding for justice for the black community who have for so long been unfairly treated. Now, athletes, we must say, perhaps have the platform to speak out on such incidents. Whenever these things come out, they have a voice. And footballers have been using their platforms to actually speak out on the injustice caused against the black community and George Floyd as well. Weston McKennie, who plays for Schalke, wore a Justice for Floyd armband in Schalke's defeat to Werder Bremen over the weekend. Jadon Sancho and Achraf Hakimi revealed Justice for Floyd undershirts after they scored in Borussia Dortmund's 6-1 win against Paderborn. Marcus Thuram, who plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, knelt down on one knee with his head down and is in the representation that justice needs to be served. Paul Pogba wrote on one of his many social media accounts that this has to stop today after watching that gruesome video with the likes of Kylian Mbappe and Marcus Rashford also voicing their opinions and standing with the black community demanding for justice. What do I have to say on all this? To be honest, I'm a man of faith and I'm going to have to refer to the Bible to this. Proverbs 18 verse 5 says, "It is not right to acquit the guilty or deny justice to the innocent." The black community has for so long been unfairly treated and unfairly judged. And every human being has a breaking point. The black community as a whole has just had enough. You know, Nelson Mandela once said, "When a man has been denied the right to live a life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw." Now, I don't condone violence because violence has never solved anything, okay? But in this particular point in time, what other option has the black community been offered? All right, we have tried diplomacy, we have tried peaceful protests, but when we do so, we've been shut down. You can only take something for so long. You can only take so much. At some point, something clicks and something breaks that, you know what, unless we try something different, this is never going to work out. Now the protests, I'm not going to say that it is something right. As I said, I don't condone violence, but are you to blame them? You can't blame the protests, all right? At some point, you're not doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. That's the definition of insanity. And if you keep trying to go down to a round table and try to talk things out with people promising you that things are going to change and they end up not practicing what they preach, all right, you have to try something different. Perhaps maybe this will actually give the black community the voice and the recognition and what they want to show to the rest of the world that, you know what, we've had enough. All right, and if this is what it takes, then let it be so. I'm a man of faith. I don't think God at the moment is looking down and, is happy with whatever is going on. But we need something to go by. We need to set the ball rolling. And if in the process of this, a solution comes up, then perhaps this is the route that we have to take. All right. Violence may be the route that we have to take at some point. At some point we have to fight back for our rights, and that is what the black community in the USA and everyone all around the world is trying to do. Because to be honest, racism is not only in the USA, or it's not only in Asia, it is all over the world. And if they do something and it works, then perhaps it will inspire the rest of the people who are being suppressed, the rest of the people who are being mistreated. I don't condone the violence, but if that's the only way to have a voice, then let it be so. But to be honest, I hope this thing gets sorted quickly. I hope we can all come to the realization that we are all human beings despite our color, despite the color of our skin, despite where we come from, that we are all human beings and we all think alike. And until that happens, well, we have to speak out. We have to stand out and be seen. So that is going to round up our Tuesday football updates. The Champions League race is on in the Bundesliga. Messi to stay at FC Barcelona for one more year. That's if he doesn't sign another contract. And the biggest issue in the world at this point in time, the issue of racism, which needs to be addressed right now. To be honest, right now the world looks like it is burning down. It's been catastrophe after catastrophe. But, I told him a man of faith. And the Bible says that even in the midst of fear, you have to have hope. You have to keep faith. You have to keep the faith in God that things are going to turn out all right. And I do have that faith. I believe God's a good God. The big G. He never lets me down. He never forsakes us. He's always with us. And right now it may not seem like it, but trust me, we are going to come out of this as long as we join together, know what is right and know what is wrong, pick and choose the right side. Okay, there's nothing like being neutral. You have to choose the right side and fight for what is good. All right, and only then will we be able to rise up, as a world, as a community, as one, right, and see the world where we want to see it. So yeah, that's gonna round up this video. If you liked it, leave a like and leave a thumbs up, heart it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, peace out and have a very good week.